Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Barn on 11970. I apologize, but for some reason I accidentally deleted my video about the Aspergers Adam Lanza video. I apologize for that. I didn't realize it until I already did it. So I'm going to redo the video because this is definitely something that I want to talk about. And also to New York Critic, if you want to send that video response again, I will accept it. So I don't want anybody to think I deleted it because I didn't appreciate people's opinions. Um, what I want to talk about is the fact that we should be able to question things. Now, unless we were there, we'll never really know what truly happened. But if you don't question things and just take things at face value, that could be a dangerous thing, especially for our future. Now, the one thing that I'm questioning is how could somebody that had Asperger's disease, well, syndrome, Asperger's syndrome, have the ability to kill so many people without anyone wounded. Now, we've had people, I've checked several websites where they've had reports of maybe one person was injured, two people, up to three people potentially, but no one could confirm it. No one could bring up anybody's names. So until somebody can actually say such and such person was wounded and here's an interview showing that person, it's nothing more than speculation. So for me, for somebody that had this condition to be that accurate, it just makes no sense. And I'm going to read all of the symptoms, and I will post a link on this. Now, New York Critic made a video response saying about how children may freeze and not be able to move. I could see children freezing. To me, it just doesn't make sense that a person goes into a school, starts shooting people, and then people just don't run all over the place and there isn't panic. And with that happening, how could somebody be that accurate to the point where there's no one wounded? It's just to me, it's that same old thing that they talk about in war. The dead men tell no tales. So if a messenger is trying to get out a message, you kill that person, they can't get the message out. So if you have a bunch of wounded people, they could contradict any story that could potentially come out. Now, I'm not stubborn headed. I'm not one of those people that says, I believe in something and it can't change. Because if tomorrow, all the things that we questioned, all of a sudden the media and the government came out and showed the video evidence, or they showed eyewitness reports, or they answered all the questions, I'll be the first to admit if I was wrong. But I would still be glad that I questioned it. But here, let me go over the symptoms of this person. And keep in mind, not only is it the symptoms of this person for his disorder, but whatever medication this person was on and whatever side effects that caused. To be such almost like a trained assassin to be that good doesn't make sense to me. So I'm not afraid to question it. So let's go over this. Signs and symptoms of an autism spectrum disorder. Children can begin to show signs of autism spectrum disorder by the age of 3. However, because children with average or above average intelligence may be affected, the condition may not be noticed until later. When a child begins to develop socially and is placed in a school or playgroup setting, symptoms of autism spectrum disorder may become more apparent. In some cases, ASD is not diagnosed until adolescence, especially in girls. Most experts agree that autism spectrum disorders vary greatly. In general, each child has his or her own unique set of symptoms. Children with autism spectrum disorder previously diagnosed as Asperger's syndrome usually have a combination of the following symptoms. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to mention the symptoms. An above average memory skills, average or above average vocabulary skills, awkward repetitive gestures, body postures, or facial expressions, below average handwriting, difficult understanding their feelings, extreme difficulty with peer relationships and social situations, inability to be empathetic, inability to read nonverbal social cues and other people's feelings, inability to sense other people's needs for personal space, late development of motor skills or a lack of physical coordination, obsessive interest in one topic, which they may talk about excessively, strong attachment to routine, strong aversion to change or spontaneity, unusual sensitivity to light, sound, or touch, and unusual speech patterns with regard to tone, pitch, or accents. All right, so let's discuss a couple of these. All right, when we talk about things like extreme difficulty with peer relationships and social situations, Well, when you're walking into a school, you're now in a social situation. So if they have extreme difficulties in that, that could pose a problem. When we have things like, for example, awkward repetitive gestures, the other is late development of motor skills or lack of physical coordination. In other words, they're saying people with Asperger's are very uncoordinated. So how could somebody have that good an aim? We also have strong aversion to change or spontaneity. Well, going into a school and shooting people would obviously be a change for this person because I don't think he's been doing that as a routine, and it's very spontaneous. So again, I'm not saying that it's not possible. What I'm saying is when you add up all the situations with the school not showing the video, with the media not talking about the other people that ran away and were caught, they don't even mention that anymore. When they talk about things like the school teacher was one of the, actually the mother was one of the school teachers, which was a lie, there's just too many things to question. So I can understand, like, for example, New York Critic made a video and he talked about how, they could have shot him execution style. Well, how many kids would just stand there waiting to be the next one to be shot? Now, I can understand some people may freeze, but I mean, you're talking about little girls. In this situation, they're not going to scream or run and just stand there while people are getting shot and there's blood everywhere. I mean, 27 people is a lot of people being shot. It just, to me, seems more likely that either there was help or it's not as they say. Because for somebody that not only had all of these problems from his symptoms, just imagine all the side effects and all the things from the medications he was taking. So I'm not saying that the government was 100% involved, but I also can't say that they are 100% accurate in their statements and how the media portrays it. So we should be able to question these things. So again, I apologize that I accidentally deleted the video. I feel really, it aggravates me that I did that, but this is important enough to re-talk about, and I want people to leave their comments again. And remember, guys, I'm not here to say you have to believe me, you have to be right. But we have to be able to talk. We have to be able to understand that we should be able to question things and not just take everything at face value, because that's a very dangerous situation. And look at all the things that the government is using now with regards of this tragedy. Now, whether they were responsible for it or not is irrelevant. They are definitely taking advantage of it. When they're doing all these gun laws, they want to create taxes for people buying guns and ammo. They're offering $2,000 tax breaks for people to turn in their guns. I mean, if they didn't do anything, they're definitely using it to their advantage. That, to me, still says it should be investigated. So I want to thank everybody for watching this. I apologize I had to redo the video, but again, this was important enough for me to repost. And then anybody that left the comments, I'd appreciate you leaving them again. And let's go from there. All right, guys, thanks for watching. And again, I apologize. Peace out.